Welcome to the Prescott Home Value Report through January 2025, brought to you by the Prescott Pickle Lady, Diane Bro Realtor. As you can probably tell, I am not the Pickle Lady. My name's Randall. I'm there in the bottom right-hand corner looking as handsome as Photoshop can make me. The Pickle Lady has authorized me to show you the following slides. As always, we begin with the Prescott median sales price per square foot. Now, the way this one works is each one of these dots represents the median sales price per square foot for that month. So that would be April. The blue line is a year ago. The red line is the current year. Last month, we were getting excited because it looked like we kind of had a turnaround. Things were going down last year. Things were going up. Well, the world took it right back again. So last month, we had a positive, I think it was a 7% year over year. Now we have a negative 8%. So if you look at what's going on, the blue line shucks and then it jives and then it shucks, and then the red line shucks and then it jives and shucks. They're both kind of bouncing back and forth. When one bounces one way and the other bounces the other, it makes the gap look bigger than it really is in terms of analysis. This could be, last year we had a weird Thanksgiving. That might have something to do with this. And then because this was so big, I don't know. I'm not making too much of this. I think we're going to settle out pretty close to where the blue line is again. That's pretty much what we had all of last year. So that's what I'm expecting for this year as well. This is the transaction volume. So in this chart, each one of the dots represents the number of homes that closed in that month. And we were looking real good November and December, really handsomely beating last year. Did not have the holiday drop that we were expecting in November or December, but we got in January, which kind of weird. Okay, so not a lot of homes being shown in December. We usually don't expect a lot of closings in January. We didn't have those. We fell out. The change in volume is about 12%. Year over that's about 12%. Again, not making a whole lot about this. I think if we had a bigger market, we had bigger denominators, these numbers would be a bit more robust. So I always err on the side of not making too much of these wild swings. They all seem to flatten out over time. At least they did last year, pretty much the year before that. I'm expecting the same this year. So is it a buyer's market, a seller's market? Well, it's a buyer's market. The way we answer that question is using what we call the pending ratio analysis. Again, this is for the city of Prescott. When we ran these numbers, there were 569 homes on the market. Of those, 114 were already pending. 114 is 20% of 569, so our pending ratio is 20%. If you look up 20% on our handy dandy color chart, it'll tell you that is a buyer's market. Just barely. Anything in the 20s is considered a buyer's market. Anything less than the 20s considered a strong buyer's market. We're right on the cusp between strong buyer's market and buyer's market. Don't make too much of that either. We've been mostly in the strong buyer's market range for a while. Every now and then we kind of scoop up. We just barely crack the surface this month. So pretty much a buyer's market has been for quite some time. Breaking that out by price point gives you this chart. So a lot going on this chart. Let me explain. The blue at the bottom here, that's the number of homes that were sold in that price point. So this is 300s and lower, 400s, 500s, all the way up to 1.2 million and higher. This tells you that, again, the number of homes that sold in Prescott during the month, the number of closings, and the red dots are the pending ratio for homes in that price point. We're starting to get our classic shape of that curve, although we're still getting that little bump in the 600s. Generally, the higher the price point, the more of a buyer's market it is. Still getting that hockey stick over to the right here, where homes over $1 million seem to be in hotter demand. Probably a matter of supply, although the 1.2 million plus, that's a fair number of homes. They had over 100 homes over 1.2 million sold in January. So how long does it take for homes to sell in Prescott? Answer is 6.7 months until a contract. Escrows have been running really long, 1.7 months. That's probably a holiday effect. Adding those two together, you get 8.4 months. I would say more like 7.5. This in escrow, that's not going to last. Usually escrows take about a month, maybe a little less. Moving now to Prescott Valley. Not a whole lot going on in Prescott Valley. This has just been lockstep, and this month has been no different. Very predictable, about a 6% year over year, and we've been getting it every month out there for quite some time. Looking at volume, a little different. We had kind of edged up for December. Again, I think that was a holiday effect. We're right back down again in January. So Prescott Valley is pretty much following last year's pattern without all the shucking and jiving that goes on in Prescott. Doing the pending ratio out in Prescott Valley yields a pending ratio of 17%, which is a strong buyer's market, just a few points lower than in Prescott. Breaking that out by price point, still have that hockey stick. Homes 1.2 million and above, and a lot of demand out here. We have the classic sliding down. 900s, millions, 1.1, just not a lot of volume there. I wouldn't make too much of that. We are getting some very high-end homes out in Prescott Valley now, and some high demand for those homes out there. So that's why you get that little hockey stick. How long does it take for homes in Prescott Valley to sell? 5.9 months. Escrow is only 1.2, which is much closer to usual. Still a little high. So it's about 7 months. I would say it's running about 7.5 for Prescott, about 7 for Prescott Valley. All right, so here are the highlights. The price per square in Prescott right now is $304, which that's low for Prescott. It's been running, $325-ish for some time. We had a 4% monthly drop, and then we compare that with the year before. That's a negative 8% drop. In Prescott Valley, we had a negative 5% change from last month, which is still 6% above last year, just following that same last year curve. Looking at volumes now, we had a 38% decrease in volume in Prescott, 47 in Prescott Valley. Those are obviously holiday effects. We ended up with a little less than last year, negative 12%, a bit lower in Prescott Valley, negative 20%. In part, that's because there are fewer homes in Prescott Valley, so even a small drop in homes looks like a big percentage number. Again, wouldn't make too much of it, I would say, particularly in Prescott Valley. We're just following the same old pattern. Prescott, we just kind of shucking and jiving, making it look confusing. Inventory, it was at 569. That is an 8% increase, which is a nice bump. 21% though out in Prescott Valley. So a lot of new listings out in Prescott Valley. And then the months to contract, we're at 6.7. That's two contract, doesn't include escrow. That's 2.3 months longer than we had last month. And 5.9 months to contract, which is 3.2 months longer. And we're getting some more listings and not a lot of volume. January is a weird month. Again, wouldn't make too much of any of this. Look, if you like this kind of stuff, we got lots more for you in the Prescott Home Value Report. This is just a summary. We go into specific subdivisions and just a whole bunch of stuff. So lots of slicing and dicing. So I would encourage you to download that report and get it in full. We update this report every month, but it is not the only report we do. We also have what we call the Appraiser's Eye View, which is the last 6 months of latest comps. And it's broken out by subdivision. In fact, Prescott Lakes, we break it out by neighborhood. So it's very, very detailed. This is an example of what you'll see in the chart. This would be a subdivision. It is sorted by price per square foot, the number of months that it took the home to sell, square footage, the year it was built, how many stories, how many acres, and whether the listing agent is reporting the home having a view or not. Using this, you can look at all the different comps that occurred. You can see the average down here. So using this, it's a really good tool to figure out what you should be paying for a home, or where you might want to price a home that you are selling. So a really cool tool. We even have a video which goes through how to use this information to come up with value estimates for homes. We do a whole lot of tools like this, all of them really very cool for both buyers and sellers. And one thing I should point out is you can't get these from any place else. These are exclusive. You can only get them from the Prescott Pickle Lady. And all of this is part of our page. We call it Prescott by the Numbers, or more commonly the Pickle page. So if you're on the Pickle page, you know the Pickle page. But if you're not the Pickle page, well, you should get to the Pickle page. And you do that by subscribing. We update it every month. If you subscribe, we will send you a monthly email update with the link so you can go download all the reports that you want. Even if you're not all that interested in getting every single month, just having access to these tools will give you a real leg up when it comes to the real estate game. I hope you found this informative and maybe slightly entertaining, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Please take a moment to look below and find the button that'll take you to the Pickle page. We'll see you there.